Hi friends, this is Jyotsna from konlines.com. In this session, I would like to discuss about the topic error stack DTP. I said you that we already had discussed that we are having four types of DTPs. That is data transfer process. One is standard DTP. Second type is error stack DTP. Third one is direct update DTP. And fourth one is RTA DTP. Now I am going to discuss about the topic error stack DTP. Okay, and my navigation is transaction data loading from flat file to InfoCube. Okay, in BI 7.0 or 7.3, BW 7.3, the navigation will be same. And before starting my navigation, let me create the step one. First step one is make sure that the master data exists, like customer master data and product, etc. And before continuing my navigation, I have to create the flat file. Create the flat file. Okay. And before going into this, let me explain. Before creating the flat file, let me show the DFT of the. This is my error stack DTP. This is my source system where I'll create the flat file from my. This is the workstation or PC. Okay, and this is my data source and this is my cube, that is info provider or data target. So we load the data from the source system to data source or PSA, that is persistent staging area. A temporary storage means the raw data will be stored here. Whatever the data we are sending from the source system, that the unchanged form or raw data will be collected in the PSA. And this is the IP is the info package. We'll load the data from source system, that is from our local workstation or PC, to the PSA or data source. Info package is used to load the data from the source system to the PSA, and from the PSA or data source to the data target or info provider or info queue, it will load the data through DTP, data transfer process. Now here comes the error handling. See here, up to here, no error handling for info packages in case of invalid records. Data need to be reloaded from the source system. Here we won't have any checking in the PSA stage, so it doesn't throw any error. While loading the data from the PSA to the InfoCube or data target or info provider, we'll use if any error file is there, invalid record can be corrected in the error stack and updated into the data target. See here, from the PSA, it will collect to the error stack and it will check the error, invalid error, and we can correct the error in the error stack itself and we will update to the info queue. Okay, this is how error handling will be done through error stack DTP. This is about the error stack DTP. Now we are in this one, like source system. Now I have to create the flat file in my source system, in my local workstation and PC. Now I'm going to create the flat file. So create the flat file. Now just sample I'm giving CID, PID, PQTY, units of measures, sales, profit, currency and date. This is my flat file. I'll load the data C1, C2 up to so on, and I'll create the flat file also. It will be stored in the form of .csv, comma separated value. Okay. Now I'm going to create the flat file. Let me create the flat file. Open Microsoft Excel, MS Office Excel. Now CID, PID, PQTY, or else I'll write product quantity for better understanding. Product quantity, units of measures, sales revenue, profit, currency, date. Okay, these are my fields. Now let me create the records C1, P1, product quantity is kg. Oh, sorry. First, let me product quantity. How much quantity? 200. Units of measures kg. Sales revenue 4,000. Profit 40. Currency INR. Date 2015 01/02. Okay, this is my records. Right here, take a few records. Just for example purpose, I am taking kg. These I am using transactional data loading for variable units, so I'll give variable units kg lb. Now take this also 5,000. Profit and profit, coming to the profit, we'll do this also. Okay, now this is also variable units, means even I want variable currencies also, USD, GBP. And drag this also. Okay, fill in cells. Okay. Now I'll raise the error by my own to check whether what is the navigation of the error stack DTP. So in this I'm changing something like in February month and putting the date of 31st month. There is, in February month, how many days? 28 or 29 days, right? So there won't be any 31st date on February month. So it have to capture the error. I had created the error here. See here, 2015 February 31st date means second February 31st. In February there won't be any 31st date. So it had to capture the error. So I had created the error. Let me check whether what is the navigation and whether my error DTP will work or not. And let me see this, continue with the navigation. Now save this, save the Excel wherever you had saved your previous documents. Now see here, I'm not finding my previous Excels, means .csv format. I'm not observing my previous documents. Why? Because the save as type is Excel workbook. Now what I have to save? I have to save my Excel sheet in the form of CSV, comma delimited. So observe here, my previous records are appeared here. What is the one? ER did okay ERS. Let me take error stack DTP ERS. Okay, take my file name as ERS. Save. The selected file does not support the workbook that contains multiple sheets. To save only the active sheet, click OK. To save all sheets, save them individually using a different file name for each, or choose a file type that supports multiple sheets. Okay. ERS.csv may contain features that are not compatible with the CSV, comma delimited. Do you want to keep the workbook in this format? Yes. Now my flat file is done. Now I'm closing this. Close my file. Already I had saved. No. Now completed this creation of the flat file. Now what I have to do is, before going for any navigation, first check the source system connection. It is must to check the source system connection. Check for the source system connection. What is the T code for that? RSA13. Even we can go with the RSA1, data warehousing workbench, the initial screen of this, and let me log on to my SAP system. Select SAP logon, run, select logon, give the credentials. Once again I am repeating that don't enter the password for 3 times consequently. Why? Because the user will be logged. Again we have to go to the administrator. So continue. Select. Here observe this user BW11 is already logged on client 001. Do you want to continue this? Yes, continue this. If I did this one, it will be, the session will be terminated. All the users will be terminated. If I selected this, it will continue with the other users also. It won't disturb the other users. Now completed this. Now what I have to do is, let me check the source system connection. I said even we can go by RSA1, data warehousing workbench. See here, modeling. We can select the source systems. Okay, or else directly I can go with the RSA13 T code. See here, source systems. This is my source system, Josh flat file source system, PC underscore Josh. Select right click and check. Source system connection PC underscore Josh is okay, means my source system is running properly. So I can go for proceed for the navigation. Okay. Now Let me go with the creating of the info area, info objects and info object catalog. Means the info area, info object catalog and info objects. Create info area, okay, and create the info object catalog. Here I'll discuss this later. Wait a second. Now let me create, before this I let me create the info area first. Select under modeling, select the info objects. Now select the info objects root node. Context menu, create info area IA underscore EDS, right? Now info area for error stack DTP EDS. Okay, this is my long description. This is my technical name. Select it, continue. Now check for the info area where it has saved. This is my info area for error stack DTP EDS. Right click on that and context menu, create the info object catalog. See here, edit info object catalog screen. We will create the info object catalog for both characteristics and the key figures or measurable objects. And for info object catalog, see here, info object type is characteristics. The characteristics info objects will be stored under the info object catalog for characteristics, and key figures will be stored under the info object catalog for key figures. Okay, and this is a system type namespaces. This is SAP, delivered by SAP, customer generated by the users, means we are creating this, users are creating this, partner, this is the partner, SAP partner. Now let me create the info object catalogs IOC underscore K. First let me create the characteristics info object CH. Give the technical name as per your understanding, so that if I check that my info objects, if I am going to check this, it will be very easy for me. Okay, give the name as per the CH underscore EDS info object catalog for characteristics in error stack. Now info object type is, now I am going to create the characteristics info object catalog. So I'll assign my characteristics under info object catalog for characteristics. Now select the radio button, by default characteristics will be selected, and system type namespaces SAP delivered. Now let me click enter, you'll observe this. See here, automatically if I press enter, automatically my cursor moves to the and customer generated by the user, that is automatically radio button was checked as user is creating this. Select create. Select activate. Now observe this object IOC underscore CH underscore EDS has been successfully activated. Now I'm creating the info object catalog for key figures. Now select the info area for error stack DTP. that is my select my info area, context menu, create info object catalog. Select info object catalog underscore key figures for EDS, info object catalog for error stack key figures. I'll mention here key figures for error stack DTP. Okay. Now see here, observe this info object type is characteristics. It has selected by default, but what I am creating is key figures. So select the key figures and press enter. See here, observe this customer radio button is activated. Select create. Now activate this. See here, info object for key figure error stack DTP. Error stack DTP is observed. Now check for the info objects. Now create the info objects. Select the info object characteristics for error stack DTP. Now before creating the info objects, let me explain you what are the info objects, characteristics info objects present in my navigation. This is my flat file, CID, PID. This is the product quantity, sales and profit. Here CID, PID are the characteristics info objects. So I have to create them under the info object catalogs for characters, and product quantity, sales, profit. These are my key figures or measurable objects. I have to enter them under the info object catalog for key figures. Okay, let me create the info objects. For creating the info objects, the direct T code is creation of info objects. Direct T code is RSA14. Even we can go by RSA1, that is the initial screen, data warehousing. Let me show this. RSA1, this is my initial screen. Observe this, under modeling I am finding the info objects, and even we can go by direct T code RSA14. See here, directly it will become to the info objects panel. So let me create the info objects. Expand my info area, IA underscore IDES. Select the info object catalog for characteristics, context menu. Select create info objects. I am having two characteristics info objects. So let me create the first info object catalog. Info object for this, that is CID. CID underscore, give the technical name. It should be 3 to 9 length. CID underscore EDS, give the long description, customer ID. Now continue with this. Observe this, the version is new, inactive, not executed. Means presently I am creating this customer ID. So let me create this. Data type, characters, length, give it as 4. Select activate. See here, all info objects are activated, and see the version, it is in the active stage, and object status active and executable. Now one more info object is there, characteristics. That is PID. Let me create this. Select the info object catalog for characteristics. Select create info objects. PID underscore EDS. The description is product ID. Select continue and give the data type as characteristics and length as 4. Select activate. Now my characteristics info objects creation was done. Now I have to move to the key figure info objects, that is measurable objects. Select the info object catalog for key figures. This is my technical name IOC underscore KF underscore EDS and select this. Create info objects. Earlier it was create characteristics. Now by default it's coming as create key figures, as I had mentioned my info object catalog as key figures. Now what are the key figures in my project? PQTY, sales and profit. Now we'll go with the first one, product quantity, PQTY underscore EDS. This is the technical name for my key figures and give the long description, product quantity. Select continue. Observe this, I am finding 3 tabs over here. It is in version is new version and types or units. Types or data types. Actually I want products quantity, right? So it should be, the units are to be like quantity. So by default amount is selected, but I want quantity. So select the quantity, observe the data type, QUAM, and here you are observing currency or units of measures. Here fixed currency, fixed unit of measures, units or currencies. In my navigation I want variable units and currencies, means kg, grams and lbs. It should be variable type. If I want fixed units, means kg, if I want only one unit, kg or gram or lb, like that. If I want only one unit to be in my navigation, I'll select fixed unit of measures and fixed unit of currency. So in my project I want variable units, so let me give units, 0 unit. Press enter. See here, units of measures. And this is the aggregation tab. My key figures are summation, sum. In the cube the data will be aggregated, means it will add the each and every request. This is the additional properties. This is related to the BEX. We will discuss this in the BEX reporting. Now let me go with the types or units. Now select this data type. Completed my data type insertion. Select activate. All objects are activated. Now 2 more key figures. Select the info object catalog. Create info objects, sales underscore EDS. Long description, sales revenue. Select continue. Sales is related to the amount, data type. So select the amount, data type is currency. And I want variable currencies, INR, USD and GBP. So let me go with the currency value, 0 currency key. Select activate. and one more key figure, profit, PRF, underscore EDS, profit on sales, long description. Select continue with this. The default type is amount. We need the profit in the currency manner, so we'll select the amount, currency, data type, and select units as zero currency. Select activate. Now completed the creation of the info objects. So at my source level, I had created the info objects. Now let me show the data flow diagram for better understanding. So here I had created my source system, that is local workstation or PC. I had created the flat file and created the info objects here. So now I have to go for the data source. Let me create the data source for this. Create data source. Direct encode is RSDS RSA 15. Okay. Now we have to create the data source. We will discuss the creation of data source in the next session. Thanks for watching this video.